What's up, guys? I just had a little message I wanted to bring y'all today, just a little bit of motivation. And this bit I'm going to tell you about something I did today, an instant where I messed up, and I was able to realize where I messed up and came to a realization of what I should do about it. And I'm going to tell y'all what happened just so because it's just more relatable. Stuff happens every day, right? To all of us. And we can't all be perfect, but we can all take the steps to be better. So basically what happened, I went out on the river with my dad. We took my boat out, and we were just having all these small issues, and it was hot. It was really hot. We were safe, obviously, but nothing really went to plan, and I had a couple of issues with my boat, stuff that I could have been better prepared for, for instance, my trailer lights aren't working, right? Which isn't a huge problem because we live right by the river, or I do, but it's just the principle to my point, which is that you need to be prepared and you need to be patient, okay? So a man that is not prepared for things is kind of like a house built on sand, right? Okay? You're not solid, and people see that, okay? When you think of a reliable man, you think of somebody who can show up and get the job done, and you don't even have to think about it. You just, like a lot of people's dad, you can call them, and you know they're going to be there. When you have a flat tire, he's going to be there, and it's going to get taken care of. Hopefully, if you're also a man and you're at the right age, you know how to do it too, right? And if you don't, that's okay. Figure it out. If you don't figure it out, or take the time to, that's not okay, right? And that's another, don't let me start rambling, but that's another good little nugget to remember. Like right now I'm trying to gain weight, and I'm a stout guy, but I'm not the strongest, okay? I've seen these videos. It's okay to be weak. It's not okay to stay weak. That's the same with your mindset. Okay, a lot of us right now are weak in mindset. I think I can tie all this in together. A lot of us are very weak in mindset, and we struggle with all these different things, or we're just hating on ourselves all the time. It's okay that you're there. It's not okay that you stay there. It's important that you make the effort to grow and get out of that. Does that make sense? Because none of us are perfect, but if we stay where we are, that's weakness, in my opinion. But that goes back to, here's the thing that I can work on, okay? It was just hot, and he was agitated, and instead of me being the voice of reason and being calm, I returned it. You know what I mean? Or I just did it. My lure came off or whatever, and I was just being pissy. Pardon my French. That's another thing probably work on. But a man doesn't do that, okay? I'm not saying that your dad or your grandpa isn't a man because he messes up, because we do. I guess what I should say is a man tries not to do it. And if he shouldn't do it, okay? And it's good if people realize that. Obviously, we mess up. I mess up like I did today. But you should be trying your best to be calm, to be the voice of reason. And think about it like this, too. I mean, if you go to get married or have kids, you are the example. You are the man of the house, and you need to realize what that means. And you have to be calm and set that example. Because that's why it's so huge as a husband, because it starts with you. You may have strong-willed kids and a strong-willed wife, and I hope you do. But even then, regardless, it can trickle down because what if you're in a frightening situation? Okay, a lot of times for women and children, that turns off and it becomes panic. They're not trying to, control, what am I trying to say? They're not focused on what can be done. They're just kind of in a frozen state, right? And you have to be calm. What I'm saying here is that you are the pace setter. You take care of the situation. And that can go back to something as small as minor inconveniences. You set the tone. You say, it's going to be all right. We're going to figure this out. And you're going to keep your calm because you're a man. That's what it means to be a man. Okay? And being prepared. Because, if your kid calls you and, they got in a wreck and you're on the phone, freaking out, you don't know what to think. What should we do? No, you're gonna call the police. You're gonna get down there. You're gonna make sure your kid's all right. You're gonna take care of things. If they don't know how to deal with the insurance and all this crap that comes after a wreck, you teach them. You don't just, hold the spoon to their mouth. You show them how to do it. And you know what? This doesn't have to be a structured video. Let's go to one other thing that a man needs to do. Okay? You be the teacher that you didn't have. Or maybe you did have, the type of person that takes the time to teach you something because he wants you to know it, or she. And these aren't bad people, but I've had so many people in school, in my automotive class. When I said school, I meant high school, but now my automotive class, and, some other people that I just don't want to, mention, just family and stuff. It's like they didn't want to teach you, okay? And if they did, they didn't care if you figured it out or not. They were just trying to get it over with. And I'm like, that's such a blessing to have that person or to be that person that takes the time to pass on knowledge to somebody that's genuinely seeking it, especially important stuff, right? Like stuff with mechanics, stuff with, having a home or trying to save for a home or, taking care of financials, like, especially with your kids, like, be that person that will teach people and do it thoroughly. Obviously don't screw around. If somebody's, just not taking it seriously, then drop them, because they'll either, come back realizing they made that mistake and actually take the time to learn, or they won't. But when somebody's just, I like to ramble. Let me just say this. Be the person people can rely on. And I know it's hard sometimes, but it's very rewarding. Okay? Not in like a selfish way. It's like you get to be the one that takes care. And don't expect your flowers. Don't expect return favors, because that doesn't matter. It's just the fact that you were able to make a more positive impact on people's lives. That is a huge blessing. Okay? I should probably get a script so I'm not just all over the place with these videos, but I think it's good. It's genuine. But, and I'm saying this, nobody's gonna watch this, hopefully someday, but I want to be that guy that people can rely on, and I'm sure you do too. But you have to make that mental effort every day. When you mess up, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better. And one of the best things you can do is catch yourself in the moment and nip it in the bud. I'm about to make a comment that I shouldn't. Nip it in the bud. Even if you've already done it, don't let it go any further. A lot of times I'll realize it, that I was being rude, I was being hot-headed, and I'll say, whatever, I don't care, I already done it at this point, and that leads into me doing it again. Cut it off right there. Okay? And you have to take this crap serious. I mean it, because some of this motivation stuff and advice gets watered down in your mind. At least it does for me. I'm like, I'm gonna be better. And then when the time comes, I'm not that serious about it. And it needs to be like life or death. And I mean that. As a man, it does. I don't mean let it drive you crazy, or just, it destroys you when you mess up. But you should almost be obsessed with it. Not in an unhealthy way. I mean you need to be serious. You need to lock in. Be that guy that people can rely on. Be that guy with the smooth temper. Be the voice of reason. And work your tail off. Don't do so in vain. Work towards things that matter. Let me quit rambling. I'll probably do a script next time, but you get the point. Lock in and be a man. Okay? And don't forget to enjoy life. This isn't like head down, life's supposed to suck for me, I'm supposed to just do everything for everybody else. No. But being that person that your wife can rely on, that your kids look up to, that your brothers and sisters can trust, that your mother and father are proud of, that your friends, they know you'll be there for them. That's so valuable. I mean, just as a man, that's everything. So, when it gets hard, you don't want to go to that workout. You don't want to be nice, because nobody's been nice to me. I get it, but that's 90% of people, in high school. Everybody's going through it. Just get over it. Be the difference. Then you have peace of mind, and you bring peace of mind to others. And you set an example. Be the example. All right. But like I said, don't forget to enjoy your day. Relax when it's time to relax. Just enjoy life, man. It's much too short. But I'm not going to ramble anymore. I'm going to try to make more videos. I've got some stuff I got planned. Maybe someday I can grow some kind of page on here. But anyway. Y'all have a blessed night. And remember to be the best that you can be. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.